Hello and welcome. My name is Olivia, and today we're going to be talking about the IB program and why you should definitely do it. I went to Flagstaff Academy for middle school, and I'm at Colorado College right now, and I'm interested in studying biochemistry to become a dentist someday. Christian.
All right, so I'm Christian. I went to Sunset Middle School. I currently go to University of Colorado Boulder, and I'm studying media productions. And I don't know yet what I want to do for the future, but definitely something creative and definitely with the media.
Chase.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Chase Spurbeck. I went to Sunset Middle School. I'm currently a student at University of Denver, and I'm pursuing a dual major in film studies and production as well as psychology.
Morgan.
Hi, I'm Morgan. I went to Westview Middle School, currently at the University of Oklahoma, and I'm majoring in international studies.
And Nick.
Hi everyone, I'm Nick. I went to Alexander Dawson for middle school, and I'm currently at Georgetown University in DC, hoping to study international political economy and someday go into investment banking.
So I think we're just going to jump right in and talk about why we all chose to do NIWAT pre-IB in 8th grade. And I know personally I had the choice to go to Silver Creek. That was my homeschool, but I opened enrolled at NIWAT because I was really excited about the academics and the wonderful teachers there.
I know I also open enrolled at NIWAT because my homeschool is Longmont, but I mainly wanted to do the IB program in 11th and 12th grade. So pre-IB program was the best way to prepare. And I also like the fact that I'd be in all honors or pre-IB classes because I wanted the challenge.
I think to speak to the first part of that question, the most challenging part of the pre-IB program for me was not really the workload, but just understanding and navigating a new way to organize myself. So I think that part of the pre-IB course load helped a lot.
Yeah, and so then why did we choose IB? Well, after taking pre-IB, I really wanted to continue with the IB courses. I was really excited about the teachers that I was going to have and the education that I was going to get.
I definitely agree with that in that it's a program that I think, in my opinion, definitely thinks ahead, and they not only prepare you for college in terms of content, but time management skills, essay writing skills. I mean, it's definitely worth the time to go through the IB program if you want those skills necessary for the future.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think I chose to do IB courses kind of for three reasons. The first is that there's a lot of continuity with them. So, especially with the higher level courses, because they're 2 years long, you really get to dive deep into basically any subject you have interest in, which is great for students that are really passionate about certain things. Second reason is college preparation and just the skills and organization that it kind of forces you to learn ahead of time. I found that I'm really prepared now that I'm in college because of a lot of the IB courses that I took. And then the third one that I think is pretty important is the teachers. I loved all my teachers in my IB classes. They love to teach, and it's this great relationship that a lot of students have with these teachers.
One thing that I really liked about the IB classes is that I feel like they focus a lot on understanding concepts instead of just memorizing them. So a lot of the exams are like written based instead of multiple choice based. You really have to be able to explain the concepts that you're learning, articulate your thoughts well, instead of just memorizing facts, which I think really helps me learn. And I also really like the fact that IB tries to push you to be more globally minded. Like in our English classes, we read books from authors all over the world, and then we considered the cultural context behind that. And I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, so what did you find most challenging about pre-IB and IB, and how did you overcome those challenges, and what has overcoming them done for you now?
Going back to my answer before, again, with time management, I mean, there are points in the IB program where you have like multiple things going on at the same time. For example, you have CAS throughout junior and senior year, as well as the EE, and even just like normal coursework on top. And once you get the hang, I guess, of time management, that really comes, in handy later in college. And then you learn how to, you know, better spread out your assignments or how to plan for things way ahead of time. It's really useful.
I feel like for me, the hardest part wasn't even the coursework. It was more just the fact that at the beginning of junior year, we were all so stressed about it and we were constantly talking about how much work there was. And it just made it seem so much worse than it actually was. And once we started doing it and we kind of learned like, okay, we need to stop complaining. Like there's a time and place for venting, but then there's also a time and place to focus on the positive. Once we focused on positive and realized like we can actually do this, then things got a lot better. I feel like that helps me now. Like I feel like I have a bit more of a healthy mindset. I'm not constantly thinking about how much I have to do. I'm not like trying to be so competitive because I feel like all of us were very competitive about like who has the most work or who's the busiest. I feel like it's kind of helped me to like grow out of that mindset.
I agree that the workload was pretty challenging, but the people that you were around really made a difference. Everyone was willing to work really hard and help you if you had any questions. And that was honestly my favorite part of the program, being surrounded by this community of kids who were hardworking and passionate about what they were doing.
Yeah, and so any advice for students who are deciding to undertake NIWAT pre-IB or IB? And I know personally that choosing to do IB was really great because I knew that I was gonna get the core part of it, the EE and the TOK and the CAS. And even if that was too much, if you choose to do full IB, there's still flexibility. You can still go back to courses, you can still take AP. It's just really great.
For somebody coming into pre-IB, I'd say my biggest piece of advice is to start getting involved and find stuff that you like to do at NIWAT. It really helped me to like have some connections to upperclassmen who could give me some advice. And then once I got to IB and started doing CAS, if you already have some activities you're involved in, that helps a lot with CAS.
To build on that point, I think my favorite part of IB was CAS. I found things that I was really passionate about and that I continue to do today, even though I'm not required to for CAS. It made it really easy. So I recommend choosing things that you're passionate about to write about for your CAS project.
Right. And so just the last kind of question here, what did you enjoy most about IB? What's kind of surprised you? What was the most interesting thing or the most beneficial thing? And also, how did it prepare you for college? I know that I got a lot of college credit from doing IB courses, and I really appreciate how prepared I am for college now. And the course load feels so much lighter than some of my peers seem to think it is.
Yeah, I think my favorite part about IB, I mean, I'd second everything you said about being prepared, and all of that. But I think my favorite thing, honestly, were all the friends. As cheesy as this is, like all the friends I made during the program, just because you end up getting really close to a lot of the people, especially the ones you take the 2 year classes with. And you're all going through like a collective workload, a lot of group projects. But you forge a lot of really close connections with these people. And I still talk to a lot of these people in college. I've no doubt I'm going to talk to them after college. And I'm just really glad that I had the chance to make all those friends and go through that process with them.
I definitely liked on how at some points you could, like what you guys said before, I don't mean to repeat, but mix your passions, you know, in with some of the stuff. Like the cast project, I know I tried doing a music thing and I was super close. I didn't quite make it, but it was actually really fun for me to do something I love and it would still count toward my, getting my credits and all that. It was a really cool process.
Kind of going off of that, I wrote my EE on a topic that had a lot of personal significance to me. And so I was very passionate about researching it. And that was actually my favorite part. I learned a lot about things that I could relate to my family history, which was super cool to me. And I also got the experience of writing a 4,000 word paper. So now classes assign like a 2,000 word paper, and I know how to do that. It's not as intimidating anymore.
Looks like Nick had to leave real quick, but we're glad he was here to help us out and talk about individual IB courses. Is there anything else that us DP students would like to say?
I think to speak to the diploma program, I really got a lot out of it. I think taking individual IB courses is a really good decision if you're not totally up for doing the entire diploma program, but I gained a lot, like I said, from the CAS project, and like my peers have talked about, the EE was a really good experience, and it's made the college workload a piece of cake, to be completely honest.
I think if you're deciding between, doing like full IB versus individual courses, they're both really good options. And I feel like some people are really well suited for the IB program. Some people don't want to do that. It wouldn't be the most fulfilling thing for their high school experience. And that's perfectly fine too. There's nothing bad about that. So just like look at what all that IB requires of you and see if that's what's going to help you make the most out of high school. And if it's not, and you just want to do individual courses, that's perfectly fine too.
And let me just say, TOK, you have to be in the full diploma program to take your TOK class. And I must say that TOK was one of my favorite parts of IB just because of the amazing conversations and friends that I made in that class. And it really was a memorable part of high school for me. And without further ado, thank you for watching, and we hope you have the most wonderful high school experience no matter what you choose to do. Thank you.